And then when Oprah said that if Trump wins, you may never be able to vote again.
If we don't show up tomorrow, it is entirely possible that we will not have the opportunity to ever cast a ballot again.
That is
it's just so ridiculous.
the craziest thing when you go back and watch him on her show, where she was encouraging him to be president.
This sounds like political presidential talk to me, and I know people have talked to you about whether or not you want to run. Would you ever?
Probably not. I do get tired of seeing the country ripped off.
Why would you not?
I just don't think I really have the inclination to do it. I love what I'm doing. I really like it.
Also, it doesn't pay as well.
No, it doesn't.
Hey, Oprah,
yeah.
what changed?
Yeah, well, he became the guy who wasn't just funding a lot of politicians and being like a famous guy, and he became the guy who was calling all of them out and threatening to drain the swamp. And that's really was his crime.
Joe Rogan went full throttle on Oprah Winfrey, tearing into the queen of daytime TV like a lion chasing a slow zebra through a gold-plated safari. What began as casual banter morphed into a ruthless roast, dismantling her America's favorite. Neighbor persona while dropping billionaire-sized truth bombs with precision, the internet erupted half in gasps, half in applause. One thing's certain, this wasn't a polite jab. This was Rogan ripping the gloves off in Oprah's empire. Definitely felt the aftershock.
Bro, you remember the time Oprah had that lady on, its face bit off by the chimp?
Stay there.
And she showed her face on TV?
Oh, yeah.
Miraculously, she survived just the unimaginable. Her name is Charla Nash. Charla almost always covers her face with the hat and scarf. She wears it, she says, because she doesn't want to scare people.
The lady was wearing a veil over her face, like, let's see your face, come on. She pulls the veil away.
Like a Nope?
What are you doing?
Would you mind lifting the veil? Oh, no. So we can see.
You could take the hat off.
Oh, the hat comes off.
Yep.
Okay.
Oprah Winfrey, the woman who could stroll into a room full of billionaires and still somehow be the most powerful person there, the queen of daytime TV, the high priestess of live your best life energy, the only human alive who could sell you a book, a blender, and a spiritual awakening in the same breath. But then came the day Joe Rogan verbally rearranged her entire brand like an unannounced garage sale nobody wanted. You know it's bad when you can practically hear this collective gasp from her fan base, a group so loyal they'd probably drink her bathwater if she claimed it would cleanse their aura.
We lied, but she also brought us Dr. Oz and The Secret. We have to remember what this lady has done.
She has to be held accountable.
I forgive her, but I mean, cut. The Secret is a particularly egregious offense.
What, you just...
Oh, you don't believe?
You don't believe?
Oh, believe?
If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon. Now picture it, Joe Rogan in his podcast chair, looking like a man who's either about to drop a life-changing truth bomb or dare you to eat elk jerky dipped in ayahuasca. Across the digital universe, Oprah, untouchable queen of daytime royalty, is just living her life. Blissfully unaware her public image is about to be folded like a lawn chair in a hurricane, Rogan doesn't tiptoe in. He arrives wielding a verbal chainsaw and Oprah. Not a word in response. In roast terms, that's like standing perfectly still while the other guy juggles, flaming insults at your face. Silent, awkward, absolutely glorious.
Did you see Oprah fall down?
Yes, and it's honestly...
She's a little old to be falling down. You loved it?
I loved it.
Wow.
Loved it.
You
She didn't
like
get
when
hurt.
people get hurt.
She's fine.
She's dead.
She died?
Yes.
All right. Ding dong. The witch is dead.
She did.
No,
Imagine if she did, and I was
if she died from the
joking
fall.
about her.
Yeah, we're fucked.
No, she didn't die.
No, she's fine. I just think like
she looks like she got hurt.
It's nice to see billionaires fall.
Oh.
How about that?
Let's be clear, Oprah is a billionaire media mogul, untouchable in the way a lion is untouchable to a house cat. But Rogan? He's the kind of house cat that's been living feral for a decade, seen some things and will swat at anything, even a lion, just to see what happens. And oh, it happened. This wasn't commentary, it was demolition. Rogan dismantled the Oprah myth piece by piece. The whole relatable billionaire act, torched like a pile of 90s infomercial DVDs, the polished spiritual guru persona, gone. He painted a picture of Oprah waking up, sipping an artisanal unicorn milk latte, then casually deciding which planet to buy before lunch.
Joe Rogan is calling out Oprah and Michelle Obama for hypocritical speeches at the DNC. Watch.
She's up there talking about income inequality. Like, hey, lady.
Yeah, I know.
You're rich as Like, how is that equal? And also, when Michelle Obama was saying, you know, I think she was saying her mother or grandmother was always suspicious of people who took more than they needed.
Yes.
Like, you are worth so much.
Used to love Oprah just like her audience did. But deep down, everyone knows there's something a little off about how perfect her image is. It's too polished, like she's been photoshopped in real life. And Rogan, with all the subtlety of a monster truck doing yoga, ripped that curtain wide open. The best part, this isn't even the first time someone's tried to roast Oprah. Most people go soft toss a few playful jabs. Maybe poke fun at the book club, then backpedal fast before the Oprah army arrives with homemade cookies and legal documents. Not Rogan, he's out here like, what's she gonna do? Ban me from reading? Is it honestly, you almost want to see her try?
I used to love Oprah, like most of us who grew up when we did. And only now did I realize I've been getting spoon-fed propaganda from this woman for years. I always took her little setup packages as gospel. You know, before I was a reporter, I never even thought to question whether Oprah might be intentionally misleading me. Then last night, the dawn came and I was like, oh my God, she is not a reporter. She's a propagandist. She's trying to shove messaging down my throat of whatever she believes, not what's...
It all starts with the Oprah is your best friend illusion, that warm, cozy vibe where she convinces millions she's basically their next door neighbor. If their neighbor happened to live in a mansion so massive it needs its own zip, Code Rogan painted it so vividly you could practically see it. Oprah in a silk robe, sipping a smoothie that costs more than your monthly rent. Da, nodding along like she truly understands the struggle of losing your keys. Then he went for the crown. Jewel of her public image, the giveaways. Remember the cars? You get a car, you get a car. Legendary? Except Rogan reminded everyone it was basically Oprah handing out golden invitations to the IRS and the infamous Oprah effect. Rogan twisted it into something darker like a wizard casting spells, except instead of a wand, she uses book club stickers, and instead of summoning dragons, she conjures entire marketing departments ready to sell you anything she touches.
I want to be rich. I am rich.
I imagine myself flying. I can fly. I will beat my wings until I take off. What's up?
Yeah.
It was one of the more I want to say disturbing, but it was confusing when that was taking hold of people. When I had friends that were telling me that the secret is real and that they imagined they were going to fulfill these childhood dreams that they had about whatever, being a fucking astronaut, whatever it would be. There's a couple people that I knew that were trying to tell me that the secret was going to be the thing and that they had a vision board and they had photographs, they put pictures up of the things that they wanted. Like them in front of large crowds and shit. I'm like, oh boy.
Them in front of large crowds.
This is so not how it works.
Yeah.
If this were anyone else, maybe Oprah would have fired back, but not here. She stayed silent, which only made Rogan's commentary echo louder in everyone's minds. It was like watching a boxing match where one fighter just stands there smiling, while the other throws relentless haymakers, and the crowd starts wondering if the smiler is secretly losing. Rogan didn't just stick to her image. Either he dove straight into the OWN network era. Remember when that was hyped as the next big thing in TV? Oprah stepped down from her daytime throne to build her own kingdom. It is Rogan gleefully reminded. Everyone, the early years were rough ratings tanked. In his telling, those interviews were more like carefully disguised interrogations, where Oprah lulled guests into a false sense of security before sliding in a question so sharp it could fillet tuna. It's the kind of question so piercing, it makes you pause, blink, and momentarily forget your own name.
They boiled it down to the easiest one, which is dreaming.
Right, exactly.
And that's why it sold, but Oprah sold it. I mean, she was one of the big ones, man. And she was fucking 50 years old at the time. I mean, this is not a young woman who was selling this. How old is Oprah now?
75.
89? Shit.
Here's the genius of Rogan's roast it. It wasn't just about what Oprah did. It was about the contradictions. The way she preaches self-love while selling you 17 different products to achieve it. The way she talks about simple living. From a house so enormous you could host the Olympics in her backyard. Rogan painted her as the final boss of capitalism, smiling, benevolent, and somehow making you feel like it's your fault you're not also a billionaire. The internet didn't just reenacted. TikTokers started doing dramatic readings of Rogan's rant. YouTube animators turned it into a full-blown cartoon battle, with Oprah perched on a golden throne while Rogan charges in on a moose, microphone in hand like a medieval mace. And through it all, Oprah stayed completely silent. No tweets, no interviews, just that serene, unbothered Oprah energy. Rogan would drop a jab about billionaire relatability here, a dig at sponsored spirituality there, and every time her name came up, you could almost hear the collective click of the internet hitting refresh.
Oprah didn't help by sort of saying it's cheating. What do you mean it's cheating? It's a drug that helps people control their appetite. How is that cheating? So she was probably on the wrong side of things when she was saying that. And now I think she was sort of forced to admit, because as you say, it's obvious. Somebody like Oprah, who's constantly up and down with the weight and hasn't been on the skinnier side for a long time, and then suddenly, after this miracle drug comes out, like, we know. But she's still a spokesperson for Weight Watchers, and I guess she's going to still tell us that the point system is really what's behind the weight.
Here's the thing, Oprah's image has survived worse. She's been in the public eye for decades, weathering scandals, controversies, and yes, even Dr. Phil. But this felt different. This wasn't a tabloid headline or petty gossip. This was a long-form, widely consumed roast by someone with a massive audience who wasn't afraid to take a sledgehammer to the Oprah mythology. And her silence only amplified it, giving the whole thing this strange gladiator arena vibe, where Rogan was fighting a statue and somehow making it look like he was winning. It left people wondering, was she ignoring him because she truly didn't care, or because she knew a response would just hand him more ammo? Was it strategic silence or classic Oprah, floating above the chaos on a cloud of lavender-scented wealth? Here's where it got interesting. The roast didn't just rattle her image among Rogan's loyal listeners. It actually made some of Oprah's own casual fans stop and think, yeah, maybe she is kind of over the top, for a brief, bizarre cultural moment. Two wildly different fan bases, meat-loving MMA brothers and skeptical, middle-aged daytime viewers, met in the middle and went, huh, that's a good point.
The word gratitude is one of those words that's overused, but when practiced, it can change everything about how you move through this world. It's my spiritual practice, and I know if you use it in those moments when everything feels like it might be falling apart, that's when you use it. It's great to do it. I mean, I journal every night too. I journal when things are going really well, but I'm telling you, it has the most powerful impact when you can do it, when you can sit and be grateful.
You ever notice how every Oprah interview is filmed like she's personally unlocking the secrets of the universe? Soft lighting, slow zoom, dramatic pause, just so she can lean forward and ask, but how did that make you feel? And every time people cry. She could interview a guy who just won a lifetime supply of paper clips, and 3 minutes later, he's sobbing about his childhood. Rogan tore that apart, calling it an emotional ambush, the kind where you start out talking about something harmless and somehow end up confessing your deepest regrets to a billionaire with perfect hair. And he's not wrong. Oprah has a way of making people spill their souls like she's running a spiritual pawn shop. Then came the roast of the Oprah Book Club. Rogan compared it to her wielding the infinity gauntlets, napping her fingers, and instantly turning every Barnes & Noble into her personal marketing department. Somewhere out there, 1,000 English teachers nodded in pained agreement.
No longer in the business of staying up on the news. She's reading undoubtedly from blue cards her staff gave her. That's how the Oprah Winfrey show was shot. Oprah didn't have to think of her own questions. It was all impromptu or on a blue card for Oprah. She doesn't know she's not making big news with this revelation. She said she'll sign the same shitty so-called border bill that they rejected last time because it would let 5,000 illegals over the border a day.
Yeah, and the products. Oh, the products. Rogan went off about how Oprah could sell anything. Blender, skin cream, a $500 artisan meditation pillow that's basically a beanbag in disguise. Slap her name on it, and it's in every Suburban. Kitchen by next Tuesday. Even painted an alternate universe scenario where Oprah sells bottled tap water for $80 a case call. It empowerment. Water and watch it fly off the shelves by the truckload. But Rogan didn't stop at consumer goods. He reminded everyone of the times Oprah waded into politics and actually swayed elections. In his framing, she wasn't just endorsing candidates, she was personally shuffling the presidential deck. You get a senator, you get a governor. Funny, sure, but also true. It's the kind of influence most politicians would happily sell their souls for. If Oprah didn't already own the trademark.
Here she is walking, and I believe she's talking about balance, which is LOL.
The irony is staggering.
So, flat ground.
Doesn't mean all things are equal or at peace at all times.
Oh, she bites the dust. Let's see how she recovers.
She says new shoes.
Oh, those rude fucks. They edit it so she hits the ground over and over again. Well, you know.
What really stuck was Rogan's constant reminder that Oprah's empire is built on being relatable while living a life. So far from normal, it might as well be CGI. He joked about her gardens like they were tended by monks who'd taken vows of silence, just to keep the KL from hearing bad vibes. Her closets? Her personal trainers have personal trainers. And somewhere out there, Rogan imagined, there's a guy whose only job is to make sure the cloud hovering over her guest house is fluffy enough for her mood. By the time Rogan was done, practically feel the internet splitting in two. One side was laughing so hard they were wiping away tears. The other was furiously typing, "Leave Oprah alone," in all caps. And that's the beauty of Etrogan. Didn't just roast Oprah, he cracked the porcelain on the perfect teacup, showing the gap between the brand and the reality. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. But here's the kicker, his roast, as brutal as it was, also reminded everyone of just how massive her reach is. The fact that it became a story at all proves Oprah is still the sun the rest of us orbit, even when her light is a little too blinding. So, will there be a round two? Probably. And when it happens, it won't just be a roastiddle, be a rematch. Two heavyweights, one microphone, and an internet full of people ready to choose sides. Until then, the legend of Joe Rogan won't be as the man who toppled Oprah's empire, but as one of the rare few who dared to swing at the crown and actually landed a hit. And somewhere, Oprah's still smiling, which, let's be honest, might be the scariest part of all.